Hello and good day. So, today I would like to talk about the difference between price and value. So, the difference between price and value, to start with, price is the cost of something. For example, I'll give you this ice cream cone for $1. I'll give you a ride to your destination for $10. I will sell you something, a service, a product, an item, something for a certain price. Versus value is more subjective and more based on your opinion and your variables. Say, for example, I really need to get to destination B, so I really need a ride, and I have limited options. So yes, I will take that for $10. Or, yes, that product seems like it would be more valuable than my loss. You don't normally think of it quite like that, but yes, I would have that ice cream cone for $1 because the amusement that I will get out of it will be worth the time and value invested, or a price invested. So the key difference is the price is what somebody else is charging. The value is what how valuable it is to you personally. Now, or at least that's one major part of value. Now, there is a base value of $10 is worth $10. But what $10 is worth goes down due to inflation and and if somebody else doesn't want it, or at the very least, if you have a product that has some base value meaning if I scrap, like for example, a vehicle, if I scrapped the vehicle, even if it didn't work, if I scrapped it, I would still get some money for selling the parts, for getting rid of the metal. It wouldn't be much, it wouldn't be as much as the value, but it does provide a base level of this scrap metal is worth something to somebody, but even if it's only a tiny amount. And not everyone, but at the same time, it still means only taking it to a scrap yard could you be paid for for a large quantity of metal and scrap, where most people would have no value for that other than in turn selling it to somebody who does have a value for it. So the key point is price being something somebody sets, what they think they can get out of it, what they think is the value that they would hope to get in exchange for losing the value of the item or the product or service. Like, it takes me this much time and this much cost to get this product together, and I would like to make at least this much, or I would like to make this much to be worth my time to actually do it. It takes me, I have to own a car, I have to have the gas, I have to have the maintenance, I have to have the time to drive you somewhere. So $10, for a short trip might be fine, but I'm not going to be able to afford to keep driving people, if the cost doesn't, if the price doesn't cover the cost. Furthermore, I'm not going to want to do it if the value, I could get greater value elsewhere with a lot easier time. I'm not going to want to spend my time being a taxi driver or something along those lines. So I won't be able to do it, and I wouldn't want to do it if I don't make enough price. And so there's an innate value of that I have to, I have to have enough, there has to be enough value for me to keep making this, keep doing this. And that value, though, is based on what other people want or need. I can make this much money off of selling or reselling this item. I will have, a certain amount of enjoyment, and it's worth the cost to me. So I will buy this item. I have a need or a demand, and which will be greater, which needs to be fulfilled, or I'll make more elsewhere, be getting from destination A to B by having this service, having this product, despite the cost. And it's important to know that difference because the price of something is not necessarily the value of something. Some things are priced above their value, some things are priced below their value, and some things have a subjective value that you can't exactly have it's subjective. You can't have an exact amount for every person. But you can get pretty close, and you can get the idea that I can convince more people to give it a try by setting it to this price. Or it's not worth the effort unless it's a certain amount. Therefore, let's see what happens. Or hopefully the idea, as I said before in a different videos, when you are trying to make money, you do so by providing service, providing value unto others, whether that be in product, fulfilling a need and demand of some type, or creating one to be fulfilled, or service of some type, doing similar actions. The idea is you are providing value unto others, and therefore they would, be willing to reward you or pay the price to have you continue providing that value. Versus basically, occasionally some people mistake that if something says it's this price, they mistake that for the value. If something, like for example in the stock market, if something is going down in value or going down in price, a lot of people get afraid that, it's losing value. The value of the company is the value of the company. It may have gone down, and that's why why the price is going down, but it may not have, and some bad news has caused the price to go on sale. If you buy something regularly at the store, a loaf of bread, $5 for a loaf of bread or something like that, depending on the brand and such. But if your loaf of bread suddenly goes on sale for $2.50, you're going to be happy, are you not? Or at the very least, you're going to take advantage of that deal. Versus if it suddenly skyrockets up to $10, you might decide, all right, let's try a different brand. Let's try something else. So the price is not necessarily the value. The value is determined based off the individual and how much, value can they get out of it. If I have transportation, what am I going to use it for? And what value will I get by doing those actions? Versus if I have no need to go to work, no need to go anywhere, and anything I do want to go to is in a very short range, transportation would, a car or something like that would just be a liability without the benefit. And therefore I would not want it. Most likely. That's the idea, is it's important to know whether to figure out what the value of something is and whether it's worth the price that, to you personally. Now, you may only get a level of enjoyment out of it, and that might be worth it because, I can make a certain amount of money over time. It's worth it to me to spend it on this to get a enjoyment, to get a progress, to get closer to my goal, whatever it may be. So hopefully this helps you guys to understand the difference between price and value, and that the bit of subjectiveness between the two, and to understand that it is important to figure out a rough estimate of what a value is of an item or a service, and not just look at the price, and understand the difference between the two. So if you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down below. And if you'd like to hear more content like this, feel free to subscribe, and have a good day.